So now to do the pre-shape, you want to first lightly sprinkle your area with flour. I like to use brown rice, but all-purpose or bread flour will also work. Get your dough, which is looking really nice. I see there are air holes in there. It looks kind of swollen, which is exactly what I want. I'm going to pull it out. This one really wants to hang out in there. Okay. So it's out. I'm kind of going to get it into a little bit of a square, circular shape. The bottom is nice and covered with flour. And I'm going to do this like swaddling a baby. I'm pulling up the left side, bringing it to the right, tapping it down gently. Pulling up the right, tapping it on the left. We're doing light taps because with sourdough, it's a slow build of air. It's not like yeasted dough where you can like pound on it and push it down. This is a slow burn. So try to conserve the air and lightly tap. I'm going to grab the far corners from me. I'm going to pull them over so they're opposite sides. And then the center of that space, I'm going to pull very gently and bring over to this other side. And now I'm going to repeat. Take the two corners, gently pull, opposite sides, in between them, gently pull and bring it over. Now I've got kind of this little bundle. I'm going to flip it over. And now this is where I'm going to do the shaping. So I like to use my hands, but to begin, I recommend using a bench scraper or your bowl scraper, something with a flat surface. And what you're going to do is you make a J shape. So if you want to practice before, you can. It's kind of a 40-degree angle from the surface you're working on. It's a push and a pull action, kind of like an upside down J. That's how it was taught to me, at least, is that you push the right side of the dough, and then I use my hand just to guide it, and then I pull it toward me. Push and pull. Push and pull. And you see now how I have a nice round-ish shape. And this is the pre-shape, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just trying to get it to start understanding it's going to be round. So now I'm going to set it to the side for a bench rest, and at about 5 to 10 minutes, this will be relaxed, and we can go into the final shape, which is a little more important. We have just pre-shaped our boules, and they have had their bench rest. You can see that this is looking a little more relaxed, especially than this one. This one is the one we did latest. This is the earliest. So this is a proofing basket. This is what we're going to let the dough proof in overnight or as long as you feel fit. This is the makeshift basket. This is the bowl we've been working in, plus a towel. I've used this for probably the first year of making bread. This is definitely a great option if you're not ready to invest in a proofing basket. So with that flour, either your all-purpose or your brown rice, dust the surface. Make sure that's all in there. You really don't want the dough to stick to your basket when you're trying to flip it out. So I've dusted my baskets. I'm going to lightly dust again. Grab this bowl and plop it so it's top side down. Now I have the side that was on the floor or on the surface up towards me. I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did for the pre-shape, except now it's the final shape. So with lightly floured fingertips, I'm going to stretch the left side, fold to the right, stretch the right, fold to the left. I feel that it's a little tighter now. And then I'm going to do the same with the corners, up and over, bringing the middle up and over and patting it on there, flipping it. The corners right to left to right, center, little package. I'm going to flip it over. And now I'm going to show you guys hands. You can do the same backwards J, or you can continue and try to use your hands. With this motion, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm pushing and I'm pulling, pushing and pulling. And I'm kind of using my pinky finger to send that dough underneath and to seal. And what I'm looking for is just the point where I think the gluten might break. And I can start to see this like sheen on the edge of the dough, kind of this bubble that looks like it's barely there. And you can see how nice and round that is. I'm going to let that be. That feels pretty tight to me. And before I flip it and put it in the basket, I'm going to let it sit on the surface to seal in its seams. Because if I just roll it in the cornmeal and plop it in the basket now, it's going to kind of open up its seams. We've let the loaf rest and the seams have sealed up. So we're ready to put it in the basket. What we want to do first is dust rather generously the basket with brown rice flour or all-purpose bread flour. We're going to use our bench scraper to pick up the loaf and top side down send it into the cornmeal. I'm going to roll it around a little bit, and then I'm going to gently pick it up and place it in the basket. You can see that this looks really nice. I'm now going to let it rest at room temperature for a few minutes, and I'm going to press on it with my finger gently like this and see how quickly it bounces back. That was pretty quick because we just put it in here. It still has a good amount of tension. Needs some time at room temp. I'm just dusting these with flour on top, and now I'm going to see how proof they are. So using my index finger and very gently, I'm just going to kind of press and pull the loaf and see that it bounces back pretty quick. That means it needs a little more time to hang out at room temp. Same with that one. That one a little less so. That one's going to be ready pretty soon. I'll check back on these in about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put them in the fridge, and I'm going to let them hang out there overnight, covered. So I would take towels, put them over, or I'd fold it on top like this.